Just going to show you how to fix up this adaptive dynamics fault. So we're going to start the car up. Oh, there we go. So that's the message we get. Now, often it is from the ride height sensor being damaged when the car has been completely jacked up, or when it's been jacked up to change a tyre, and I'll show you what that looks like underneath the bonnet. The only reason I know how to do this is because I did a dodgy fix, and it looks like it's been dodgy fixed before. And I'll show you exactly the part that we're talking about. There's a couple of tools you'll need for it, and I'll go through those with you in a moment. Look in here, you'll be able to see that it's been dodged up before with some black and red electrical tape. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a torque bit head, and that is a T27 head. And I'll see if I can do this. Back them out. Oh yep, look at that one. Beautiful. Good. Not hard. Right. Next part, just going to pull these screws out, put them to the side so we don't lose them. Oh, look at that, see? That wire has just poked out the side. That's the broken one for us. So I'm going to pull the whole mechanism off. And then you've got these quick release, and that just pops all the way off there, and that way we've got plenty of space now to make our repair. And so all we're going to be doing is just splicing that wire back and repairing it, stripping it back, and we might do something to reinforce it a bit as well. Alright, check back in a second. Next part of this is I've just gone and, well, we've cut it, and I've just added some extra length to the wire. We know that there's two. There's a brown with a yellow stripe and yellow with a brown stripe, and I've just put some heat shrink around those after soldering them, just to make sure they're a little bit stronger. So we've got now our sensor that's been removed. It's all very, very straightforward. We've just put a heat shrink to join some wires. We put an extra 10 centimeters or 4 inches, and then we've got heat shrink over the top of that we can just slide down, and once it's all snugged up, we'll just put some heat shrink over it. So there we go. I haven't forgotten it. That long tag there is for the brown wire, and the other one is for the yellow wire. Anyway, let's see how this all works. We've got to now somehow splice that onto here, and we're going to do the same thing with some heat shrink. We're going to slide it all the way down, and we're going to do some heat shrink and some soldering on those. So hopefully this problem does not happen again. There it goes. You're going to see some of the dodgiest soldering ever, but it's just enough to stick them together. There we go. That one. Two. Hey, you know who'd like to see that? A blind man. We'll just give that a second to cool down. Beautiful, and then we're just going to slide one a lot of the heat shrink over. Beautiful. And from the other side, we're going to slide that over. And we'll just cook them. And before you worry, this is a diesel car, not a petrol car. So in case there's any fuel around, it's probably a pretty rough way to do it if you had a petrol vehicle. That's the first one down. And then we've also got a second one, a piece of heat shrink down the bottom that I've just slid up there, and it's just more for reinforcement. There you go. Great. And then the last one, we're just going to make sure that the wires all the way out of the sensor, here, are all essentially just reinforced. We've got stacks, we've got oodles and oodles of spare cable now. Making a meal of this, trying to do it with one hand, but you get my point. So there you go, got a heat shrink there, and that's just a little bit of additional reinforcement. Good one. That's a job good one. All we need to do now, reinsert and reinstall. In fact, what I might even do is just run some electrical tape around all of that just to sort of tidy the whole thing up. But at the moment, it's looking a whole bunch better than the one that was broken, that is for sure. And that should fix our adaptive dynamics fault. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I've got to say I'm sorry for the terrible camera work, but at the same time, at least you got the job done. Here it is, all reinforced, reinstalled. There's some flexible cable there as it comes out of the housing, so I'm just hoping that's been reinforced a little bit better than it would have been. And also, these wires do become really brittle, so I've just doubled up on just a little bit of electrical tape. Doesn't look fantastic, but it certainly is going to work a bit better than what it did before. So let's get in there, have a test, and we'll see how it goes. Here's our first step. Service required, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Check in reverse. And that is it. Fault cleared. You little beauty. Good luck, guys.